Well, hello, and I tell you, how many of us have had this happen to you? You're trying to do a good thing. Now, I'm going to say that I was sitting in line at the I was at DSW yesterday, going to pay for the shoes and waiting for the next cashier. I was not trying to skip ahead of line or do anything like that. In fact, I was doing actually the opposite. I was minding my own business, and I was waiting in line. There was people that were ahead of me. There was actually two individuals ahead of me that appeared to be together because they were talking and everything together, and they were doing everything together. They were from another country. I don't know where, whether but they were definitely not speaking English at all. However, that didn't bother me. Here's what happened, and I want your comments. If feel free, but this can only happen. It doesn't happen to just me. I'm sure it happens to a lot of people out there, whether you're from America or Venezuela or Brazil or Spain or wherever, Germany, wherever, even Montana. But we won't go there. So I'm sitting in line because I'm on my scooter. I'm at DSW down around the corner, and I, because I know my limitations and the size of the scooter that I am in, so I look around and I say, okay, I better go to the one closest, and I can wait and let whoever's behind me. I will let them go instead of holding everybody up, and that's exactly what I did. However, what happens next was totally incredible. Okay, um, let me catch my breath a minute. I laugh every time I think of it. So, um, I this is why I don't go shopping that much. I am there, and all of a sudden, the one cashier to the right of me gets free, and they say, "Next, please," in English. Okay, I could understand it in English. Okay, so I turned around behind me, and since since the two ladies were up at the one counter being waited on, I figured that, I was being next. So I turned to my right and I said to the people behind me. I think there was two or three of them, and there was a young child with them. I said, "Go ahead, please, because I'm going to wait here because it's easier for me to get to the end than go over to the right and have to maneuver my scooter around." So as soon as that happened, they moved up. All of a sudden, the lady that was standing in front being served, one of the ladies turned around and started speaking to me in Spanish. Well, I believe it was Spanish. It was another language. It was not English. Okay, that I can guarantee you. It was not English, but that's not the point. The point was what I said and what follows. This is the point. And just tell me your feedback on this, if you want. This is just as it happens. You can't make this stuff up. And uh, she turns around and starts, hollering at me, not in English, but in her language, and saying that, basically that she was next in line, and why did I do that? And I looked and I said to her, I said, um, "Can you speak English, please?" And just like that, I said, "Please speak English. I don't understand what you're saying." Okay. Now she looks at me. She says, "I don't speak English." Okay. So uh, at that point, I'm looking. I turn around to the people, and I'm thinking, okay. So this lady I'm observing, she's speaking. The cashier behind her is speaking to her in English at the DSW store. Okay, and she's basically not saying, "Oh, she doesn't." She's not. She's commuting. She's communicating one on one with the person. This happened a little afterwards. So and I turn around to the person behind me, and I spoke to him in English, And I said, now see that? She said that she didn't speak English or she didn't understand English. Okay? But she's carrying on a nice conversation with the cashier behind her. And now, is it just because of being convenient, or what? What does this What does this say about you know, just about the way things are? Now, when I go to Brazil, uh, if I don't try to acknowledge that I speak Portuguese or anything or try to understand it because honestly, um, I could maybe say something wrong, and if I'm not sure, I would ask somebody. And but whether one of my nephews or nieces or something, but don't say something. Don't say that you don't understand English on one side, and then carry on a perfectly good conversation with a person behind the counter that is selling you something, and act like basically you can't have it both ways. That's what I'm trying to say. You know, people got to be real, and that's the bottom line. If you're not real, if you want to be phony, then be phony. But I turned around. I said, "Look," I said, "Sir," I said, "See that?" I said, "That's she's trying to have it both ways." So, what do you think? Was I right? Was I wrong? I take constructive criticism very well. I mean, well as I can, and I know my limitations. But I was just trying to be nice, and she didn't see it that way. She thought, she thought, oh well, she was next, but she was with the other person in line, and that's all I was getting at. you know. Anyway, this was your motivational Monday commentary by the scooter dude who is surviving very well and, taking it one day at a time. Don't forget to get your lotto tickets for this week for Wednesday's big drawing over what, 600 million? I think. I think it is 650 million. Also, whatever you do today, don't look up at the sun. Okay? I'm not going to go out till a little later. I hope somebody can tell me out there what time it will be, so I can at least. I'll wait about 30 minutes before I go out after that, just to make sure. But I'm not looking up at the sun. Okay? All right. You hear me, Roy? I'll be safe. I'll be safe. And so it's nice and quiet. Just me and the TV and crazy news stories of the day. You be safe. God bless America. God bless this country. And God bless the shoppers at DSW.